y'all's resumes. And y'all could go make a lot more money. And you're not here because it's easy. No one's here because it's easy. You're here because it's hard work that someone has to do. And y'all have chosen to do it, and I've watched you do it. I've watched the field inspectors go against guys with billions saying you've got to do the right thing. I've seen our enforcement officers go out there and say you've got to follow the law and get your permits and pay your taxes. I've seen our utility companies. Man, guys, I've had death threats in this job over the years. What we do is not popular. I'm never surprised when someone doesn't like what we're doing because we're regulators. But y'all do it because the good guys in industry deserve for us to make sure the bad guys don't ruin their name. We're here to make sure industry can do their job and do it well. We're here to make sure the good guys win at the end of the day. And you don't need me for that. I needed you for that. You have every single thing you need to make this happen, no matter who is here. The passion and the knowledge y'all have cannot be taken away. This is you all. I always meant it when I said I got to be a small part of it. That is my honor. It's still it's the greatest thing I've ever got to do in my life. Every slander I've endured, every false accusation, being called a criminal on the news. Someone asked me this weekend, an attorney that called me, said, is it all worth it? Would you change it? I said, it's worth every bit of it. Because the work y'all do is worth it. And you're good at it. And you can't let anything that happens today, good or bad, change what you do or the reasons you do it. Y'all are amazing. I still feel like the dumbest person in a room when I come set with y'all. The work you do is amazing. Trey and I've talked about it a million. Talk about feeling imposter syndrome, setting with people that have done the things that you've done for the time that you've done it, and the commitment. Just like you, Brandy, yesterday. I hadn't been here long enough to deserve that. And what did I tell you? It's not about how long you've been doing it. It's what you do every chance you get to do it. And y'all make the choice to do it right every time. Doesn't mean we get it right every time. Heck no, guys, I've made mistakes in my life. But we've done a lot more good. We saved lives years ago, Jeff. We got called criminals for it. But when people ask, would you change it? Not a chance, because whose family has to go so I don't get called a criminal? Right. It's worth it. We're not here to be popular. None of us were here to get rich. We're here because we love the mission. And even if I'm not here anymore, I still love this mission. I will love this mission till the day I die. I will be following races. I will still be involved telling people who to vote for and not vote for and what's going on. Heck, I may come to hearings and just participate with good old public comment. But the work that you do here does not stop unless you stop it. Not with this commission, but for years, I did my job when I was told not to. Pharaoh knows. Jeff knows. I had my job threatened for doing the right thing before. And we said, no, we're going to go ahead and do what's right. And we did it. And we got criminals put in jail. We stopped $244 million in fraud from one group and changed the face of the federal Lifeline program. But that's not me. It's the whole team that cared. Though we have an oil and gas director that whenever somebody had a problem at their house, he put on old clothes and went and bought some PVC and drove to their house to see if he could figure out where others had it. That's not the job description. He did it because he cares, and God blessed him with the knowledge to do it, and he went and tried to figure it out. And you've got Paul, and Mark Willingham, and Brett, that over the years have supported their division to get radios in their cars that they couldn't get for a decade. For men and women that are on the side of the highway stopping trucks, they said, no, they will be safe. It was my honor. One of the first things I signed was to start that. And Mark was waiting the day I took this job. And I said, you bet. They deserve it. So just remember that. The mission and the work is worth it, no matter what. PUD is never popular, but you fight on. Man, they get drugged through the news by name more than anybody, I think. And they still show up every day. Our fuel inspectors go out there every day. They put their lives on the line. The work we do isn't popular. But again, we don't do it to be popular. We do it to make a difference. That is what I've loved about this job more than the paycheck, and almost as much as the friends I've made, is the difference we've been able to make. That when someone calls and says help, we can actually show up and help them. I don't regret one day. I wouldn't trade one life or one person help for being called a criminal one less time. Because you know what? We all know the truth. We know what we do. We got all the paperwork. We got all the proof. We do our job. We've got investigators now. When people want to accuse our people of taking bribes, we stick multi-county grand jury level investigators. Show us your proof so we can get bad guys out of here. Because we got good people doing good work, and I'm tired of y'all not being respected for who you are and what you do by the world at large. They don't know how much you do for them every day. And maybe that's good. Y'all do it so well, no one knows how good you are. We've tried to tell the story more. But you're not average workers. As hard as I've worked to get your salaries up, you're still 51st among Oklahoma agencies in average salaries. And I got accused of handing out raises like candy. No, I haven't handed out enough. That's a great regret I have. We didn't get to finish getting you where you should be. This is not a 51st among state agencies agency. The work that y'all do should be right up there at the top. You're supporting the largest industries, the hardest stuff to regulate, and we've got the best and the brightest, and you should be paid like it. And I told y'all, for me, demand more for me, demand more forever for yourselves, together. You're worth it. I said last night to my wife, I said, gosh, if something happens tomorrow, I've peaked too soon. How do I top what I've had the chance to do at this agency? I started looking through the little to-do list that many of y'all have probably never seen, that all the directors put together when I took this job, and they'd slowly add things that were important to them. And we just ticked them off, one by one. We'd take 5 off, we put 4 on. And we just kept doing them. We never gave up. We never said, no, we're good enough. We don't need to change. When we got them in roles, how many of y'all, your job has changed since I've been in this role? How many of you have changed for the better? You know why? Because stagnation is the start of death. You cannot be afraid of change. Don't ever be afraid of change. The greatest thing anyone can do for you is to find your talents and let them shine. Yes, you need to do the job we need you to do today, but we better be looking where you might be more valuable and get you there as soon as possible. That's our role as leadership. It's not to have some stagnant plan where we do the same thing every day with the same people, and they retire in 30 years and they get a piece of paper and a little pen and they go home. This is about me believing what I told y'all when I took over, that your voice is what matters. That's why we have change management. Keep using it. That's why we have everybody on centralized teams, so you give the input. You don't need me to tell you how to do your job. You tell me what you need to do it better. Demand more, expect more. You guys got this. Mickey Mouse could get my job tomorrow. Y'all could have the 3 Stooges up there for commissioners in 12 years, and y'all could still do awesome work. Just keep working, keep believing. There's nothing more important. That voice that y'all have found and you use, that you set a record for the survey when you got us into top workplace this year. You set a record, guys, for the percentage of responses, and they were overwhelmed with 1,200 comments. Like, we don't get that many from companies 10 times that size. You didn't just get top workplace in Oklahoma, you're on the national list. And trust me, when it gets announced in April, I'm going to be celebrating. Because that's y'all. You don't do that and be a 51st ranking among state agencies in salary. Your work speaks for itself. When people are unhappy with what you're doing, that speaks for itself. The fact that when things aren't well, we want to hear from those we regulate and say, how can we partner better? How can we do better? And then we look at them and say, now are you willing to do your part? Can you do better? Right? It's a two-way street. That was one thing in PD. We never acted like we could run a power company better than a power company. Our job was to make sure everything we could oversee that they did it right and the best they could at the lowest cost for ratepayers, and that it was safe. But y'all got this. Like, I'm excited to see where things go, and if I don't get to be on the inside, if that happens, and I'm going to be watching what happens. We don't know what's coming today. We have no idea. It may be good. We may be all worried, and it's like, yay, you know? But it may just be really weird timing that I was on vacation and we wanted to meet, you know? It happens. But the bottom line is, guys, it doesn't matter what happens today when it comes to you doing your jobs. I don't stand by any of you all day to make sure you do a good job, because I don't have to. And I seriously doubt that's going to change tomorrow or the next day or the day after that.
But you've made it pleasant.
And it was my privilege to do so. It was very important to me that y'all had an environment that was as nice as it could be.
Yeah.
Because of the work you do. Kind of like I said in a Jim Thorpe meeting and got kind of teased about it. I told one of the senators when they wanted y'all to have that really ugly furniture, I said, I've seen your office. You're not sitting in that stuff. I think y'all are more important than a senator. I think you're more important than me. You're doing the work. You're doing the work. You're the line of defense against the bad guys, so the good guys can keep having a good name. We're not here to get the good guys. We love the good guys. They make our job easy. There was a few companies, I won't say them by name, but I used to love working with them. They mess up, I'd be the first one to get a phone call. Oh my God, we are so sorry, we have messed up. What did you do? And they'd already fixed it. And if they hadn't, they said, here's what we're going to do, and we're going to file, and we're going to be transparent. But I am proud, so proud. I mean, I've now got to see every facility multiple times, shook almost every employee's hand multiple times, got hugs multiple times, heard y'all's illnesses. I've watched your babies grow up. I've taken the phone calls in the middle of the night that said, I don't think I can do this anymore. And they weren't talking about work. What greater blessing can you have as a leader to have people you're willing to follow in every single job? If anything bad happens today, it will not take away the 19 plus years of amazement that I came to work with every single day that I got to be a part of this. It still doesn't seem real. Today doesn't seem real, but the last 19 years don't seem real. We started going through a list of stuff someone asked for over the weekend. Even was telling Pharaoh, I found my old notebook, Nicole, from one back in 2007, and I flipped through it, and your name was in there, and Bill was in there, and guess what some of the notes were? We need more training. And I wasn't a manager, really. I mean, me and Pharaoh were like, what, chief of energy and chief of economics was yours or something? This agency needs more electronic filing. This agency needs more respect for its employees. But I didn't find that by happenstance. Some of you right now may think, oh, I'm just a service rep. I'm just an analyst. Just a new grievance manager. I was just a new kid here less than a year when I wrote those things. And I got to bring every one of them or be a part of them coming to fruition. Y'all have OCC University now that didn't cost the state a thing, where you're getting collegiate level amazing training. paperless. Most of you. Yeah. And Carr is trying to make more of it paperless. But it was really wonderful to get through that and see, in addition to the individual dreams that have happened over time and seeing individuals rise and grow, that even little simple things when I was new that have come about, you know, it was really cool. Just keep believing. I mean, it's simple.
I believe.
All right, Brayden, your turn.
I can't follow that up.